Hello friends, I am again back with another video. So the topic of today's video is a little different from my previous videos. Today I am here to talk about the budget of the state of West Bengal. I am from the state of West Bengal and I am interested in the education sector, especially in the state, and as well as the various other socio-economic aspects of the state as a whole. So today I will be talking about a few highlights from the budget that was presented this year for the coming financial year in the state of West Bengal, especially focusing on the education sector. So the budget for the year 2022-2023, that is the financial year, was presented on 11th of March 2022. So the total budget allocation or the total budget amount for the coming financial year was estimated as 3,21,000 crore rupees. You may get a little difficult, so I'll just repeat these numbers another time so that it goes in clearly to you. So the total budget allocation is 3,21,000 crore. So out of this, the education sector kind of received around 15% of the allocation. So exactly saying around 14.8%. So there are five different sectors through which this allocation has been made that I have estimated. So the first is school education, and this gets the largest share of the budget within the education sector in the state. So it gets an allocation of, so the total, first let me tell you the total allocation. So the total allocation in the education sector, which is around 14.8%, is 47,600 crore rupees. Okay, 47,600 crore rupees. Out of this 47,600 crore rupees, the largest share is of school education, because that is where the government of West Bengal runs a lot of schemes. Other than these general schemes that are run in most of the schools, so like the midday meals, etc., which is run by most of the schools, they have like Shobut Sathi, and they have some student credit card scheme, etc. I'll talk about these schemes in a later video if you are interested in that. Please let me know in the comment section. So this school education sector has received a total allocation of 35,126 crore rupees. Okay, 35,126 crore rupees out of the total of 47,600 crore rupees. Okay. The next big sector is higher education, which is also a good signal. Is from my perspective. So, but the allocation is much smaller. So the higher education has received 5,811 crore rupees out of the total. The third largest sector is minority affairs and madrasa education sector. Although this includes some amount of schemes which is specific to minority affairs, but I have accounted the whole because the breakup is not provided in the budget statement. So this sector has received around 5,000 crore rupees. The fourth largest sector is technical education, training and skill development, and it has received a budget allocation of 1,286 crore rupees. And finally, the last is mass education extension and library services. It is mostly targeted at specially abled children and education for providing education to them. So this has received around 387.4 crore rupees. So that is the total different allocations. I'll again may probably reiterate. So the largest share is of school education with 35,000 crore rupees, and followed by higher education with around 5,800 crore rupees. Next is madrasa education and minority affairs, which is around 5,000 crore rupees. Next is technical education, training and skill development, which is 1,286 crore rupees. And finally, the marks education extension and library services, which is around 387 crore rupees. So that is the total, and the whole of this makes to 47,600 crore rupees, which is around 14.8% of the total budget allocation for the year 2022 to 2023 in the state of West Bengal. This budget was presented on 11th of March or 2022. Now we have to see what it does. A few negative points that I want to mention here is that there is a good percentage, I would say, is spent on education sector in West Bengal, but there is kind of a lack of focus on the teachers and the professors who provide this education. So, for example, in the whole budget speech of the finance minister, Chandrima Bhattacharya, there was only once that the word teacher was mentioned, also in the context of providing some kind of cyber security training course to 6,500 teachers or so, and there was no mention of any professors, so to say the word professor or lecturer did not come up at all in the whole budget speech. So that means that there are no specific schemes or specific allocations towards improving the capabilities or improving the capacity of the teachers and professors who are catering or providing the education or the valued education for which so much of budget is being allocated or spent, so to say. So that is one negative point that I could find on a cursory glance of the whole budget. Maybe I'll come up with a better analysis of the education budget as a whole if I get a time to look at the previous year's budget allocation, etc. And overall, another criticism that I would, from my perspective of the overall budget, is that the government has this time compared all the numbers to the year 2010-11. So that is the year when, 2011 was the first time when the Mamata Banerjee government first came to power. So before that, there was a left government rule, and all the estimates or all the allocations, all the numbers mostly has been compared to that year, which to my perspective is kind of an overreaching thing, or so to say, is not very correct, although they are in all legitimate terms. They can do that because they have been continuing in government for all the time, and they are very legitimate in comparing it from the previous government. But I think we should move away from that and start comparing with the previous 5 years. So for example, 2016-17 would be a good comparison target to say that how much has been done in the last 5 years instead of saying how much has been done in the last 10 or 10 and a half years, in my perspective. But that is a minor criticism. I'll come back to about the budget probably in a later video. Thank you so much for watching my video, and let me know how you find, if you find this video interesting or informative. Thank you so much.